Hey, first of all, I appreciate everybody who tuned into the Facebook feeds and wherever y'all tuning in from. We appreciate it. Shout out to my man Fred Mack, the whole Fan Spotlight TV team for putting this whole thing together, man. Like I said, it's
Yes,
a great
sir.
time right now. I know we in a crazy trying time, but you know, we back doing what we do. So I want to introduce, an inspiring great artist, dude out here doing this thing for real. Torranio, man, introduce yourself to the people, man.
Yo, what's going on out there? This Torranio. Hey, just I'm happy to have Fred to have me on the as a guest and everything. So I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, man, spending time with us, man. This crazy time right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah. This is crazy. I never thought. You watch the movies like Outbreak and stuff like that. You never
Right,
thought it'd come to light to a day of light. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's crazy.
right. So, what's your whole thought about the whole coronavirus situation?
My thought about it is. Something that the government put out there. They had to put it out there for it expired. Because coronavirus been around for a minute. You look at the back of your Lysol cans, way before this even came out, it was on the back of the Lysol cans. So it's been out. So I think they just had a contract on. They had to put it out there before it ran out. That's why I look at it. But I'm gonna stay out of it.
I hear that. I hear that. So, let's go right into it, man. So, growing up in your home, what was the music that was played in the house? You coming up, what was the music like?
Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. My mom was a big fan of the Jackson Five, so that's actually how I got my name, Torranio. So if anybody that doesn't know Tito Jackson, when I will say Tito, his real name is Torranio Jackson. So that's how I got Torranio.
That's some good history right there, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now, me doing some research, found out that you were a part of a church, part of the church choir at a young age. So you can let us know how that whole thing started about you, singing in church.
Oh, singing in church. You couldn't live in my mom's house without going to church. Yeah, she didn't play that. She'll plead the blood of Jesus on you in a minute.
I hear
So
that. Ain't nothing
yeah,
wrong
me
with
growing
that.
up in church. Yeah, me growing up in church. She was a singer, and it rubbed off on me. So I was singing in the children's choir, and they put me as a lead singer at a young age. So I was leading the choir.
You gotta recognize the talent at an early age. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
amazing. That's crazy for at a young age getting to do things like that, man. That's a big step. Also, man, understand that you were a part of a group called Subway. So you want to let us know, one, how did you get into the group, and how did the group form?
Oh man. So Roy went to Sin. I went to Amerson, and so I had my little group in my school, and none of my guys was taking it serious. So I knew Roy, and Roy have his, said they had a group going, and so we would go downtown and sing in the subway. So that's on Michigan Avenue. So that's how that ended up starting, and we ended up, forming our group, and we went to a concert. Our manager had got us hooked up. Eric had got us hooked up. Went to a concert. It was Mary J. Blige. I can't think of everybody else that was on there. I know TLC was there, but that's how we end up linking up, seeing Michael Bivins, and he told us to sing right there on the spot. So that's how that kicked off.
That's what's up. And that's amazing. It's an amazing story, man. Definitely something that's a lot of people, want that insight. When part of your career you start singing, you realize that you would need some more help, and you decided to hire a manager.
Well, we was given a manager like off top, so and we was young, so I always grew up having a manager, as you want to say, manager. Then on the road having a private tutor and all that stuff. So management, I knew about having management. It was just the thing of having good management. You know, you have when you with a label, you have people that's working for the label and not for you. So you have to make sure that you have people that's actually working for you and not the label. So, if you have a lawyer, make sure you have your own personal music lawyer, not the label's lawyer that they try to get to you.
Right, right. That's definitely what's up. Um, Knowing that you have like a lot of background, you've been in a lot of areas, a lot of cities, and I know things about Chicago. So like, name a lot of the artists that you like grew up either listening to, hanging around, or just being a part of.
Oh, so Michael, I love Mike. I used to try to imitate Mike when I was growing up. Uh, man, El DeBarge, that's my idol. Them notes he be hitting, man, killing it. So, who else? James Brown. I listen to a lot of oldies. Sly and the Family Stone, uh, Jeffrey. It, so my mom was a stepper, so I listened to. She had me growing up to nothing but oldies, you know. So I like a lot of old stuff that meant stuff back then. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. That's definitely
Coming out the shot. Now coming out the shot, Crucial Conflict, man.
okay.
Rob, R. Kelly, Do or Die, man. Those are my people. Ben One. So Ben One is new, but that's still my dude. That's my dude. So I listen to. I support all my shy people. We all out here grinding. Working. And coming out the shy, everybody know it's hard to come out the shy.
True,
So,
true, very true.
yeah.
So at what point did you decide that you really wanted to like take music like serious? Like you like, what, this what I want, this what I'm gonna go get, and I'm gonna take them right steps.
Uh, just I guess being around industry people and knowing that I could do it. I'm somebody telling me, and I was in school, and it was a talent uh, contest, and she asked one person to sing. She asked me to sing, and the other guy was like, "Well, let me sing." He's like, "No, that's okay." She stopped him in the traffic, like, "No, you see right there, he got talent." And I was like, "Wow, okay." So I really started taking it serious then, and that's when I was trying to push my little, group that I had together in high school. I was trying to push them, but nobody was working hard like me. Everybody wanted to go play basketball. It was cool now, but I was serious about the music. So yeah, that's when I realized I really wanted it.
Right, right, right. And I know in this music industry that it's some things that you have to like sacrifice to get what you really want out of this career and out of this business. So name some of the things that you felt that you had to sacrifice to get to that success level.
Sacrifice, kicking it, really getting to hang out with friends and all that type of stuff. That's pretty much gone. You know, um, of course, relationships, you really couldn't really have that in a young age anyway. It was kind of hard because people that want to talk
Right,
to me like I was in school, I was always gone. I was on the road, so I, that wasn't even going, part of it. Plus they didn't want you really having no girlfriends and all that type of stuff in the industry. They want you to be single. So
right, right,
yeah,
right, right. So you had that appeal to the fans and whatnot.
right, right.
So yeah, so that's what kind of happens, and they put you in
Hmm.
that bubble. But that's sacrifice you want to make to make sure you're successful and you able to do what you want to in this industry. So
Hmm.
the marketing situation, like where did the marketing begin there? Where did you start marketing, like as far as getting your music out to people, contact the radio stations and other sort of things?
Well, with all that, all that stuff was taken care of for us back then. Everything was taken care of for. Um, Now, growing up, I wish I would have knew the business at a young age because that's what happened to a lot of artists, especially
Right,
back in the '90s. This
true.
this new generation is totally different. A lot of artists know everything. They own the rights to their music and everything. But back then, we was taken advantage of. A lot of artists, '90 artists, was taken advantage of because nobody knew the business side of it.
Right,
All we see is what we see in the videos, the limelight, traveling and all that, and nobody understands the business side. If you don't have the business side down, You could be looking good in front of that camera, but you getting toe off behind the scenes. Your money getting taken. You're not seeing everything that you work hard for. So yeah, like if you even go back to like New Edition story, we talk about
Yeah,
that. How
that
they was like the biggest group out there, and they was touring. And they came home. Their first
project.
check was $1.97.
Yeah,
You the biggest group out there, but you only bring home $1.90 for a whole group. What you gonna do with
not
that? So yeah, I would definitely say that's that was a downfall. You know, and you're a kid, all you see is the next kid out there, like, oh man, I can do it. I can do that too. I can do that too. You ready to get out there? In
hmm
this industry, they ask you if you want to be rich or you want to be famous.
right.
If I want to be famous, so yeah, they make you famous. Then you riding around, you're not like that. They got a Bentley, and you driving around a 1965 Pinto. You're like, where my money at?
Not adding up.
You're right. You like, well, we actually want to be rich or famous. You say you want to be famous. You didn't say you want to be rich.
Yes.
So there you go. You got we made you famous. So yeah.
As far as in that point, like the workload, like from writing to booking and performing in the beginning, how was that? How did you maneuver that, or did you just put that in the hands of your manager and they took care of what they need to take care of as far as that, like writing your music, booking shows, and performing?
Well, management took once again back then. Management took care of everything. We was under artist development, so everything was taken care of for you back then.
Right,
They trained you. They work with you on how to speak in front of the public. You do your interviews. It was totally different than what it is now. I want to say that, man, because that gets me thrown off, man. Uh, that now moving forward, bookings. I want to say it's very important that you have, and everybody's on the same page. Your team is actually working. You guys are on the same page, so you guys not all over the place. And making sure everybody knows what you want and what you expect. You know, uh, so you guys are moving like this and not moving like this. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But you just want to grow together.
Now I want you to like go into more about like the group that you were with, like albums. I mean, albums y'all did, as far as like from the beginning of it until the time that the group went their separate ways, situation like that.
Well, we had one Good Times. That was our first album, and
Right,
we was working on our second album. But after and Jerry Levert, shouts out to Jerry Levert, the late, great Jerry Levert. He wrote This Little Games We Play, you know, uh him and Missy Elliott. So
right,
um I want to say that we we did good. We was pushing, we was working. Like I said, we was working on our second album, but due to the fact that we noticed that the money situation and certain things wasn't right, and we confronted certain people on it. And once we confronted them on it, uh, if you notice, Boys to Men, we put an example, Boys to Men, hot selling group,
right,
they was getting done the same way. And the only reason their career had a longevity career was because they got bought out their contract. So they was able to keep moving going forward. But being under a contract and you can't get out of it, you pretty much just stuck.
right, right,
So
right.
if you're in disagreement with your team, they could throw you up on the shelf. That's pretty much what happened. After that, we got thrown on the shelf and couldn't move. So if you don't fulfill that contract, if they how many albums they got you locked in for, if you don't finish it, they got you locked in until you finish.
Right.
LL, he had to do 10 albums before he was able to get out his contract.
Yeah, that's
So
right. It's part of the business, I
so
see. And
yeah.
as far as that situation, you coming out on the other side and having to, I want to say rebrand yourself, but reintroduce yourself to, the people who knew you from the group. how did you accumulate your fans and how your fans responded to the way you came back out and how they responded to you now?
Oh man, my fans, I want to say they actually been waiting on me to do something. Everywhere I would go, they're like, "When you gonna do something? When you gonna do something?" And I guess when I first signed up, what's that social media, Instagram, whatever, and what was the other thing you used to have back then? MySpace.
My space.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as soon as I got on and everybody just flocked to me. They was waiting on me. You know, when you gonna put something out? They used to hit me up. Just when you gonna put something out? So I'm not still just been working, just working. So I'm the only one that's doing what I got to do out here. I'm
Okay.
still out there working. Uh, so now we're working on my EP finally. Great, getting ready, and this whole coronavirus thing shut us down because I had a lot of stuff going. So it shut the money down, but that ain't stopping that. You know what I'm saying? That ain't stopping because we're gonna come back stronger. As soon as this is over,
Right.
we waiting. So I maybe the move, we gone.
And I also understand that you like really multi-talented and not just, boxed in as an artist. Things that you did some commercials. You also appeared in the movie Road Bounce. Could you elaborate on like how those things came about for us, the commercials and being part of that movie and the process that it took to get you into them commercials and movies and other situations?
Let's see, road bounce. That came along is that I was in a lot of documentaries, skate documentaries, and
Okay.
shouts out to my boy D Breeze, JB Elite, my skate team.
Okay.
Uh, so when Road Bounce came about, the producers and they have scouts that come out. They came specifically looking for me, and Nate, the owner of the rink, called me and said, "Hey, they're trying to shoot a movie, and they want you in it." I was like, "What?" So he said, "Come, I need you to come next week, and they're gonna be here. They want to sit down and talk to you." And that's pretty much how that kicked off. We ended up shooting at Linwood skating rink.
Yeah.
That was a skating rink that got shut down. Then we shot at Sweetwater. Uh, I'm sorry, what's that? No, Fleetwood. Fleetwood's the one that got shut down. Linwood was Sweetwater.
Yeah.
And then so that was Sweetwater. And then when they did the front shot of it showing Sweetwater, that was actually Navy Pier that they shot
Okay.
in front of. Yeah. So that's how that came about for that one. It was a lot of work. We was on the set for like 16, 17 hours a day shooting Road Bounce.
That's a
Uh
grind.
for 2 months we had to teach Bow Wow, uh, and all the other cast. We had Marcus that played Moesha's brother, and on the Moesha show we had Wesley Jonathan, my guy Wesley Jonathan, uh, Ricky. Everybody pretty much got it. That we had like 2 months to teach them, so they had at least had a body movement when we skating. So they had the same body
Right.
movement. So whenever they show like the top side of them, it was them doing that was them. When they showed the bottom, it was us doing our thing. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but
Okay.
that it was real good. I like that. We had a good time. We had a real good time.
That's what's
They
that's
fed
that's
they fed us
amazing.
real good. Thank you to Malcolm, the director. Hey, he made sure we was taken care. I had my own van and everything, fitting room and everything. So he made sure we was taken care of.
That's what's up.
Commercials. Commercials. I done after that, but before even then I was doing like little commercials. I did a Jewels commercial. I was tumbling my Jesse White tumbling team. So I started out there very young. So I was doing commercials. We did a movie, Heaven is a Playground. We did a little tumbling scene in there.
Okay.
Uh, then after that, after I did Roll Bounce, I ended up doing another commercial that had Timberland beat in it. I ain't got no money. Uh, where we did the McDonald's commercial, and I couldn't had to sign a contract, so I can't eat nowhere else. I couldn't do no other commercials, brother. I can do no more
Wow.
commercials since I nobody food commercials whether
Right.
regular.
Right.
Since I did that, that was real good. The checks was nice. Them checks kept rolling in every week.
That's what's
As
up.
they're showing that commercial on TV, you getting paid. Every time they show it, you getting paid. And
Right.
my agent like, you got another check. I got to the point I look. I'll get that check next time. I was seeing so much money. I was just like, I'll get that. Plus, I had the money rolling in from road balance at the same time. So yeah, yeah, it was good.